Good evening, my beautiful brothers and sisters in Yeshua. Today is the 1st of November 2023. It is 11:10 p.m. here in Australia. I hope you're all really well and I hope you've been blessed. I've made a couple of videos today, one long one this morning and then I sort of condensed it into a shorter one this afternoon. But I was just about ready to log off for my studies for the night and head into bed when I was just going through some of the comments on my YouTube page. And basically, if anybody's followed me for a bit, you'd know the last sort of couple of weeks or so that I've really been honing down on the fact that the mark of the beast is in the name of Allah, and that we have found that to be true because of where John saw the 666 in the book of Revelation. It was actually an Aramaic symbol of Chi, Si and Sigma, and that means in the name of Allah. So Father has been downloading so much stuff to me and through my other brothers and sisters, all helping to put this together. And so basically I was reading this comment here and it just came to mind, and I had a look for this particular thing, and I want to share this with you, brothers and sisters, because it's another piece to the puzzle. So this person here, SAP 3737, I'm sorry, I don't know if you're a brother or a sister, but you just mentioned here that you had this dream and they used a big sword with a curve and they came over to you and they cut your head off. And then when you woke up, you said that, it was fast and there was no pain, and you woke up and then you looked up that sword. And as I was reading your comment, I was like, wow, thank you for sharing. You've just brought to mind the Abrahamic coin with the large sword on the back of it. So I went to have a look at it, and it was this coin here, brothers and sisters. Like, you cannot make this up. And this here is at the Denver airport. So newly issued Abrahamic Accord peace coin is full of in-your-face symbolism. This article here was the 16th of December 2020. Okay, so this is from the Christian Observer, an article, just to show you this. There's that black cube, the Kaaba, which is what they walk around anti-clockwise in Mecca there. But see this coin here, brothers and sisters, it is literally, there's so much symbolism, like it says in this coin, with the needles and with the satellites and the rockets and the dove, and there's Saturn there, Saturn's right at the top, and here we have the Saturn's cube, and the Abrahamic Accord is Israel and Palestine, and we can see what's going on at the moment. So I was just like, oh my goodness, Father is so good, putting all these pieces together. So I thank you, brothers and sisters, for writing comments, and because I couldn't do a lot of this stuff without you. It's your comments like this that put the puzzles that I'm searching for literally all day and all night. And then I just, I was just about to go to bed, and I read this and I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, so much stuff has been put together. So now, like I said in 2 videos ago, I had a brother on Discord who told me about the Voice of God technology. And why that was so incredible was because in my original video where I was bringing across to you that it's in the name of Allah is what the mark of the beast is, what John saw. And when you look at Islam, okay, and how they've got a call to prayer 5 times a day where they hear the music over the loudspeaker or the chant or the prayer, and they all bow down and they face Mecca, and they and they worship Allah. Okay, I went right into the history of the Kaaba, what that is, that black temple there that's in the middle of Mecca. That is the house of Baal. Okay, that's where they worship Baal prior to Islam becoming a nation and things like that, the moon god. And that's where I believe very much the bottomless pit will be as well. Now, so when we read the book of Daniel, chapter 3, we see that, King Nebuchadnezzar, he had a statue built of gold and it was an image of gold, right? And when the sound was played, exactly like Islam, everybody had to bow down and worship this golden image. And if they didn't, they would have to go into the burning fiery flames. So, and so then another, I was talking to another sister, and we were talking about how significant it is that how are we going to worship the image? What's the image of the beast going to be? And as I was talking to my sister, it came to my mind. Father showed me an image of R2D2, and he opens his little tray, and a hologram comes out. And straight away, Father made me realize it's the image on the phone, okay? Because when you take a photo or anything on a phone, it's called an image, okay? It has to do with AI. And because it says there in the prophecy that image is going to get given the power to speak. Okay, so basically on everybody's phone, and this is why they were telling us to, to check in, and with the QR codes and everything, with your passports, it's all on your phone, okay? It's all on your phone. And so this is like pre-programming us into this situation. So my sister gives me a text message, and she's like, buying a barbecue, and then she texts me and says, "Hey, have you ever thought how weird it is that the 5G towers are so close together? What if they're the actual loud symbols, the loudspeakers?" And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I look into that. There's like 17 million 5G towers, and that's just the towers around the world. And they're going to project some kind of microwave frequency. Okay, it's all going to be used together. That's going to be, in effect, like the loudspeakers that will bring across a call to prayer, to worship Allah, okay, in the name of Allah. And it's going to, the frequency will come across, your phone will emit the hologram, and you're going to have to check in some way or another, like press a button. And this is why we had, oh my goodness, this is exactly why they've been testing out these emergency alert things, to see if they can get like a nationwide alert at the same time. They're testing these things, brothers and sisters, because this is all coming together now. Okay, so the 5G towers will emit annoying frequency that's going to hone into the people's brains. And unless you submit and press in and check in and say that you worship Allah and He is the one true God and all this other stuff, you are going to get traumatized from this frequency, okay? Then my brother from Discord said he was watching my video, and he quickly sung me a message, and he's like, "Hey, have you ever heard of the Voice of God technology?" And I'm like, no. So I look at this, and the voice of technology is what they used in the military to try and the technology is there to penetrate into one person's mind, and only that person can hear it, and it's like the voice of God. So if it's in Arabic, it's the voice of Allah, whereas if it's a different group of people, it's the voice of God, okay? And only that one person can hear it, so you think that God is talking to you. And I'm like, this is unbelievable. They've got all the technology from what Father has shown me in my mind of what the mark of the beast is, what the worship of the image is, and how it's all going to come to be. Now I see this coin here. This is a temple. This is going to be a temple tax coin, brothers and sisters. And you can see all of the things that are on here, all the symbolicness. And I haven't really even looked into this, but the one other thing I want to talk about tonight before I head off to bed is this satellite here. Okay, I have always thought that the big players are going to be Obama, Donald Trump, and Elon Musk. Elon Musk is going to be the one that gives the power for fire to come down from heaven, and also to give the image the power to speak. Okay, he's going to be the one that directs the AI and brings across the beast, like introduces the beast. Okay, and Obama and Trump, Obama because he is Muslim and he is Islamic, it's obvious, and he's going to be in there somehow. Definitely, absolutely, he's going to be in there somehow. And Trump, that's an obvious thing. Okay, the whole world is falling apart. Trump already said many times, this war would have never happened if I was still president. And when he was president, he went around and shook hands with everybody in Saudi Arabia, Iran and Israel. Everyone loved him. He's going to be the only person that can, quote unquote, fix this and make peace. Okay, this is exactly who the Bible is talking about. Now, another one thing before I go to bed is I want to show you an email I received today. It's called 1 million satellites planned. Okay, I don't know if this is a brother off YouTube that's written to me, but this is info@cellphonetaskforce.org. So it's like a company. I don't know, I've never heard it before, but this article is extremely interesting. Okay, number of planned low orbit satellites now exceed 1 million. Okay, and it goes down there to say on January the 5th, 2022, I sent out a newsletter listing 147 companies and government agencies from 34 countries that were operating, launching or planning fleets of satellites that, if they were all launched, would total about 500,000 in our skies. On October the 17th, 2023, the journal Science, reviewing filings with the International Telecommunication Union, informed the world that the number of filings and the number of planned satellites have again more than doubled. There are more than 90 filings for the constellations of over 1,000 satellites each. 23 have over 5,000 satellites and 8 have over 10,000 satellites. And as of December the 31st, 2022, the number of satellites being planned by 300 companies and governments exceeded 1 million. This is all in it, brothers and sisters. This is all the puzzle pieces coming together. The satellites, okay, that's what's giving the power of fire to come down from heaven. Then you have the temple tax coin, okay, with the Kaaba, okay, the Mecca, where this is the temple of Baal. This is the bottomless pit that's going to be opened very, very soon, brothers and sisters. When we are redeemed and raptured and harpazoed and spared the hour of trial that's coming upon this world, this pit shall be open. Okay, and this is going to start Satan's 42-month reign. It's 3.5 years, brothers and sisters. It's not 7. It's 3.5 years. It says this in Revelation 11 and in Revelation 13. This is your peace and safety. This is the person coming in with flatteries, okay? The devil doesn't come in with a horn dressed in red and pitchfork and a curly red tail and say, hey, I'm the devil. He comes in with peace and flatteries. Read the first book of Maccabees, okay? Antiochus Epiphanes, the original abomination of desolation. He came in, he conquered Egypt, then he set his sights on Israel, and then on the 15th day of Chislev, he erected a statue of Zeus in the temple. 10 days later, he slaughtered a pig on the altar. Okay, and he burnt up all the Torah scrolls, totally desecrated the temple, etc., etc. They take these books out of the Word of God and demonize them so that you do not know this history. This is going to repeat itself again. Okay, the abomination of desolation is the Dome of the Rock. It sits on where the Father's temple should be, okay? And I know he doesn't reside in temples built by hand anymore, but it's still an abomination that a temple of Baal is sitting on top of, the temple where the temple should be, okay? And that Dome of the Rock was built in the year 688 AD. You add 1,335 years from that, and you come to the year 2023. Okay, so everything is coming together now, and I just really wanted to share this with you. And also too, just on regards to the jab, okay, just to show the evidence and the proof that it's March 16th, 2020. This is when the jab had entered into the first phase of clinical trials. Okay, the first injection into somebody's arm was on March the 16th, 2020, and 1,335 days from that will be the 11th of the 11th, 2023. Okay, and if you take 11 and plus 2023, so 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3, it equals 11. And 11 is a master number which cannot be broken down. The 11th of November is also Remembrance Day. Okay, Remembrance Day is when the war ceased. This is a perfect time for Trump, this Prince of Peace, to come in and claim false peace and have a solution for the war the same day that we're going to be redeemed. Okay, he's going to have a solution for the war. This is going to take this is going to distract off the fact that the bride has been taken, and he's going to come in like a hero, and the war is going to cease, but it's going to be a false sense of peace and safety. Okay, because he's going to come in with flatteries, and then when they say peace and safety, there's going to be sudden destruction. However long that takes, it could take 7 days, like in the days of Noah. It could take 7 months before full chaos hits the fan. Whatever it may be, I don't know that yet, and I don't think that is for us to know, because us as the bride, the faithful 5 wise virgins who have an overflowing of oil in our lamps, because we're seeking and looking and being about our Father's business and seeking the kingdom of heaven first in all things, and being on that wall, blowing the shofar over and over again, showing you how close we are. Okay, how close we are. And I believe our redemption is shortly, brothers and sisters, like on the 11th of the 11th, 2023. Also, the 11th of November 2023 is the 27th of Chesvan. That is the day that Noah came off the ark. The earth was dried and Noah and his family came off the ark. So effectively they're going into the promised land. Okay, so from the date we are taken, I pray that we are taken on that date. I'm only human yet again, please always understand that. I'm only speaking this stuff in faith, okay, from what Father has shown me. But if we take the 11th of November, hopefully the day that we are redeemed, and we add the 1,260 days on, that's the 42 months or the 3.5 years, that will bring us to the 24th of April 2027, and that day is Resurrection Day, the 17th of Nisan. That is such a perfect correlation and timeline. It is unbelievable. I better get off this page, otherwise you never know what might trigger things. But brothers and sisters, I know, a lot of people call me a date setter and whatever it may be, but we have to work with dates. That's how we work in this world, is if we're trying to point at a very high watch time, unfortunately it has a date connected to it. Okay, we are commanded to watch and to give meat in due season, and this is definitely a due season. We see Gog and Magog war effectively coming before our very eyes, right? This is happening before our very eyes, and we're told by the Bible teachers that this is something that happens after the 1,000-year millennial reign. No, brothers and sisters. No, it is happening right now. All it needs is for its master to be released out of the bottomless pit, for it to be full-fledged. But every Turkey directly north from Israel, directly north, it says in Daniel 11, the king of the north shall come like a whirlwind and overflow them. Okay, and all the armies are surrounding Jerusalem. It says, when you see this, the desolation thereof is nigh. So we are this close, brothers and sisters. This is not something that's happening in 1,000 years. This is happening right now. There is not two Gog and Magogs. There is one, and it's happening right now. The devil wants you to believe that this is something off in the future, okay? So I've done a few big videos going into the millennial reign and how we've been deceived as to when it actually is. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is there's so many things now that are adding up to this, and I just wanted to share this with you. I hope that you are blessed by it, and as you can see here with the satellites, we do not fight against flesh and blood, brothers and sisters, but the principalities and princes of the air, and this is them. Okay, this is them. They're planning a warfare on us like you have no idea, and they're just waiting for their master. Okay, they're just waiting for their master. And notice that Satan's little season, the 42 months or the 3.5 years, is exactly the same as Christ had on this earth. He had a ministry of 3.5 years, exactly the same. This is because God, his Father, is just and good and kind, and there is no reason for Satan to come back and say, hey, I didn't have the same time or the same opportunities like your son did. Remember on the Mount Sinai, on the 10 Commandments, basically when Moses was going up to get the commandments, they were down the bottom and they built the calf, right? The punishment was that 3,000 of them died. And then we fast forward into Pentecost, what we know as Pentecost, which is really Feast of Weeks. But on Pentecost, 3,000 people were saved. Okay, it's just a constant repeat of types and shadows all through the Word of God. And now we're coming to the very end, brothers and sisters. We're coming to the very end. So I'll leave you with that. I don't want to make this too long. I really should get into bed, but I could not go to sleep without letting you know this first. So I truly believe these puzzle bits are just almost complete. So yeah, that coin. And thank you again, my beautiful brothers and sisters, for your comments, because that's what really links these things. All right, I love you so much, and if I don't see you in the next video, I will see you in the skies. God bless you. I love you. Bye-bye.